And welcome. It has been a minute because I cannot be bothered to do anything because I'm a lazy bastard. How are you, Striker?
I'm doing pretty good eating the chicken quesadilla.
Okay. I'm not. I got a glass of water though.
I
For
I yeah,
yeah,
I have spring water.
spring water directly from the source.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't you feel fancy?
Not fucking really,
Just
but
such a fancy boy.
I'm such a fancy boy in my little fancy boy chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, we're back, and hopefully we actually do this like, you know,
Continuously
yeah,
like have an actual schedule and kind of try to put that content out there for all you content viewing people.
content is hard, but we'll see. We'll see how that
We'll
works out.
see. Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, this is the Under the Table cast. Right now it's just me, Mateo, and our boy Striker, and
Hello.
you know, it's the top of the year. So with that, that means a little bit of recap, see what we've been up to, what we've been doing, and we're gonna talk a little bit about video games, maybe some other stuff. We'll see. We're just kind of winging it. We're gonna see where this goes, what we talk about. There's no rules here. This is America. It's a free country. We do what we want.
Exactly. Everything that happens under the table stays under the table. There's no rules.
Yeah, no rules under the table. But
No.
why don't you kick us off, Striker? What have you been up to for the last like 9 months? When was the last time we uploaded? Probably like 9 months ago.
Uh, Last January.
Was it last
I think it was
January?
like, I, yeah, I think it was like January 12th.
Wait. Uh,
No, he's gonna have to double check. He's fact
I'm
checking me.
I'm double checking while I am playing music that's going to be picked up in the recording. So that's
So we'll
fun.
get
Just
copyrighted. Okay.
immediate copyright strikes. Um,
This video will never see the light of day.
no one will
I
ever
mean, it
see
might,
it.
and it might just no ads, but that's okay. Um, but anyways, for the past 9 months, I spent a great deal of time with school and work and trying to play video games because I don't play
November of
video games anymore.
2022 was the last time I
Really?
uploaded something.
Wow, that's worse. No, you know what I'm thinking? I think we actually recorded something in January and your lazy ass just never updated it. So you just kind of
That's
I think
fine.
it's either it's deleted or you just have it somewhere. And
The world may never know.
it's
Like
gone.
how
It's
many
lost.
licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop.
They figured that out though.
Shh. Don't ruin the
What?
commercials.
I don't even see them anymore. Although I don't watch TV, so that's also a thing. Um, I guess the when it comes to school, I'm gonna be graduating college this year, so that's a big thing. Gonna be moving on my way up in the world, hopefully up. Could be a little bit to the side instead, you know. But hopefully there's some growth. Been reading a whole lot, read lots and lots of manga and other things and such. Um, Watched some anime. Uh, Played some video games because, as I said, I'm not a true gamer anymore. I lack the skills. I'm not a gamer apparently. I suck. I've found that in the last month or so, I just suck at games. But,
I don't think being
you
good at
know,
games is a requirement to be a gamer.
you're right. Look at all these Twitch streamer scrubs out there. That is not very good.
What have you been reading?
What I've been reading,
Yeah.
recent I guess the most recent thing was today I read the newest chapter of One Piece
Okay.
and it was damn good. Other than that, I've been reading Jujutsu Kaisen when it comes out. Started off with watching season 1 and 2, and then I jumped right into the manga. Pretty damn good, but I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil it for people, especially you, Mateo.
Yeah, I'm not
Um,
even caught up on the anime yet.
no, I feel like even if I said stuff, you wouldn't even understand what the hell I'm talking about. So that's also a point.
That's such a great
Um,
conversation right there, is someone talking about something with no context while you're trying not to spoil it.
I know. Is that what we're doing right now? Because I
That's
feel like that's what's
content.
happening. It is content. Um, well, isn't that essentially the nature of like anime reviews, non-spoiler anime reviews, or really anything
Well, see,
that's
the
non-spoiler?
thing is, but a review is not a discussion. Like, I could listen to you talk about what's good and bad about the show, but I'm not gonna have any input.
I know. Um, I guess a lot of the stuff I read this past year is a lot of seinen. Um, not tons of shonen
Yeah.
stuff. A lot of darker stuff that I'm used to. Like Berserk and Monster. I mean, Vinland Saga isn't exactly dark, but it's definitely a lot heavier themes. But I guess out of everything I read this past year, if I'm counting stuff I first picked up, Berserk is probably my number one. Probably one of the greatest experiences I had reading a manga where it's like what? Currently it's like 200, maybe a little over 300 chapters or something. I don't remember. I'll have to check. And I read it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like I literally could not put it down because I was like, this is like crack. It was so damn
It's
good.
good, right?
Where it is, and you've never read it.
No, no. I'm probably not going to. But
No, no, but this is funny because you have such a great ability at recommending things that you've actually never seen. And it's almost like I
well,
appreciate it, but at the
I've
same
seen
time,
Vinland Saga.
yeah, I know, but like say
I'm
with
not
like
current on it
Berserk and
though.
like Monster and 20th
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Century
yeah.
Boys and stuff like that,
20th.
where
I
it's
don't think
like
20th Century Boys was me though, but I do know about it.
no, no, actually it wasn't. I think that's you know who it was? It was I saw a Trash Taste clip where one of them was talking about it, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to check this out. And frankly, and this, I was gonna say it's a controversial take, but I don't think it is because they're both phenomenal. I think 20th Century Boys is better, at least for me, in comparison to Monster. They're both great,
Yeah.
and when I say it's better, it's not like a huge margin or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Pretty much 20th Century Boys is Monster, but on a larger scale that has like 4 different time skips. Um, and the villain is amazing.
Yeah.
The villain, his name is Friend, and he's not your friend. Do not trust him. He is a cult leader. Um, but yeah, that's like a lot of the main stuff I read. Um, I also read Pluto, which is by the same author.
Uh-huh.
Uh, what else did I dive into? I watched Akira for the first time, which was a shock to most people because that seems like where people start off, or have seen it at
Yeah, I
some
mean, like,
point or
right,
another.
it's an old classic, right? So,
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Like I would give it like an 8 out of 10. Like
yeah.
it was enjoyable.
There's
I
something
I
though
love the
about
art
those like
style.
80s and 90s like anime though with like it's weird cuz well Akira came out in the 90s, right? It's a 90s anime. When did Akira come out? Uh
Didn't I feel like it was late 80s
was it? If I mean if it
or
is that makes
or
sense, but I
or
honestly
early
don't.
90s
I'm
because
looking
the
it up.
manga itself is not that long. Yeah, 88.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So I mean it's square in like that 80s style of like why is there so much detail in this?
Yeah.
It's like a find the hidden object you know, like picture. But like
Hmm.
like 80s mecha too. Like I'm not even like super huge into mecha, but like 80s mecha is also just like something else with the sci-fi from the 80s. Oh, I'm not saying it's like
Oh,
better.
it's
I'm
so
not one of those people who are like, oh, the old stuff was better. But there really was just like a style and vibe about anime from the 80s that we just don't really
yeah.
have today.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I feel like a lot of anime now has that like roundish style. If you get what I
It
mean, like it's
100% does,
not does
and
as
that
much.
is because of Kyoto Animation. That's
Yeah,
almost single handedly because of Kyoto Animation. They made K-On! It was the biggest thing ever. All anime after that looks like K-On!
I've never seen K-On, so I can't really argue against that. So,
uh, it's like Bochi, but they do less stuff, and it's less. It's not about anxiety.
I feel like I like Bochi more.
Well,
And,
see,
and speaking of both,
the thing is, we can talk about Bochi, but as we segue into that, the thing is about like Bochi and K-On! Are not anywhere near the same show, like at all. Like you
okay,
can't really compare the two. Like on a base level, you can. They are both about like cute anime girls who join a band. Like that is true. That's where the similarities stop. Like if to compare Bochi and K-On! Is not fair because like they're just two totally different shows.
hmm
Um, but it is true they are both cute girls who join a band and they play music. But yeah, what?
with with Bochi, I never thought that when I would watch it, that I would seriously consider it out of. I mean, out of the anime I watch and stuff, like obviously I'm not including the manga. Like I'm not gonna sit here and go like, oh, out of everything I watch, I'm gonna compare Berserk to Bochi. It's like that's not even like the same thing.
Yeah.
But like out of the anime I've watched this past year, and I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, I've seen pretty much everything on that anime of the year list that people are voting on right now. I think voting just ended the other day. Um, I honestly would vote Bochi for anime of the year based on the unique experience at least I had
Uh huh.
with it. Some and you know it may not be super unique, but it's just my experience with it considering what I have
No,
well
no, but
experienced so far.
Bochi is super unique. Like I said, it's base parent. It's cute girls doing cute things, but Bochi is such a celebration of like animation. I think that's really where like it's relatable. And like right
Yeah.
because like Bochi is like she has like extreme social anxiety like to the point that she's like a pathological liar.
hmm
Like Bochi's social anxiety is like debilitating, like it's a condition. Like she needs therapy,
Yeah.
possibly medication. But it's not like painful. um right, it's not like painful to watch. It's not like cringy. It's really relatable and you really feel like I've been there, right? uh but also more to it, it's such a celebration of animation. Like there's
hmm
so many different animation styles and they really use like the medium to really tell its story. Like at some points it just looks like a PS2 game, you know, like a PS1
Yeah.
game or something. At other points, like everyone knows like the all the memes right of like Bochi just like glitching out, and it is that's something that can only be done right in animation. You can't do that in real life, and they know it and they use
hmm
it as part of their storytelling, and it's so great and it's so funny. uh Even at parts like as the group gets together to like as they get to know Bochi better, right, they
Yeah.
even start to get pulled into her delusions, you know.
hmm
And it's just so fun and it's so cool, and there have not been a lot of shows that are like that. Not to mention
hmm
the music
And
is great. uh
yeah, and they're all gay for each other.
Strucker discovers how anime is. uh
Yeah. Um, but
Also, for anyone who
yeah,
doesn't know,
it's
Bochi, the show is called Bochi the Rock, and it's an anime that came out this past year. We're recording this February, the top of February in 2024. It came out last year, but Bochi the Rock is a show about a girl named Bochi who was just super shy, like debilitatingly shy, and one day she sees like a rock star like on TV. Is like, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna become a rock star so I can get lots of friends. and she does that. Then she practices and practices and practices, gets really good at guitar, and then forgot to do the whole "oh wait, I still have to talk to people" thing. So she's really good at guitar, still just crippling social anxiety, and she ends up getting roped into a band because she doesn't know how to say no or talk to people. But it's a music anime. They form a band, they play music, and it's revolving around this character named Bochi, who just, like I said, has crippling anxiety. But it's fantastic. I recommend everyone watch it. Unless you're just like a Giga Chad, you will relate to this. If you're a musician, you will relate to this. If you just like animation, you will relate to this. Watch Bochi the Rock. Find it on the internet. It's like on Crunchyroll. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's great. Highly recommend.
Sponsored?
Are we being sponsored? No, because Crunchyroll's not gonna sponsor us. But I just want people to know where they can go watch it. So.
Wow.
Sony doesn't want to give us any money.
No, they don't. Speaking of relating to Bochi, one of the funniest things to me was that I think it's when, like, within the first episode or the second one, where Bochi's like describing her like childhood, or the parents are, or something like that, where they're like, "Oh yeah, she was like the kid at school that ate with like the teachers and stuff," and I was that exact same kid. And I just thought that was so funny. I was just like, huh, that's a universal experience. But yeah. But yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen is a phenomenal shonen. However, I just, when it comes to experience, I just had such a fun time with Bochi, and there wasn't really anything else here besides like Mob Psycho or Hajime no Ippo. I had a good time.
Did Hajime no Ippo come out this year? You need to watch Megalobox.
No. I know I do. I'm saying in regards to things I was introduced to this past year.
Yeah. But really, don't watch it because it is Hajime no Ippo, but it's like a whole reimagining of it. It is so fantastic. Like, oh my god, it's 2 seasons. It's worth your time. I just, they nailed it. But yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on to other stuff I've seen this year. One of them was recommended by a friend of ours, Chance, who's been on this podcast several times now.
Yeah.
Which was Goodnight Poon Poon. Goodnight Poon Poon is definitely good. And this isn't a negative comment towards anyone that have seen this, but I feel like I read it in the wrong time of my life, if that makes sense.
I think it does. Is a very deliberate and specific read, right? It's not...
Yeah, because...
It's not entertainment.
Yeah. It's not. Like, I had a hard time getting through it, where I'm just reading this and I'm like, the main characters are so self-destructive and everyone's awful. Yeah. And there's certain stuff I've read. I mean, hell, that happens in Berserk, where there's a lot of people that are awful. There's so much awfulness behind us. But at least the main cast, what's beautiful about it is that the main cast still is so hopeful about the world around them, and that it become better, even though it just seems like things just keep getting worse and worse. But they still push through it. They still have a means to an end, and they're still going to keep going forward to figure out whatever path they're setting upon and wherever it's going to reach. But with Goodnight Poon Poon, it's just this guy named Poon Poon, which you follow throughout his young adult life, doing all these self-destructive things. And I will say he goes through some pretty traumatic stuff. But like, it really picks up in the last, I want to say, like 40 chapters, where it was very good, but in a way where I was like, it's like watching a car crash, where I just couldn't look away, where it's exciting in that sense.
I
without spoiling anything.
I kind of liken it to like how I felt playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not a fun game. I mean, there are plenty. I don't think it's fun. Like, it's not supposed to be. So like, I mean, like, it's fun, right? It's a fun video game, but just like the overall story, just like as a package, so, like, I compare it to like GTA 5, right? So I think they are both satire. Both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 are both satire. But whereas GTA 5 makes fun of the whole thing, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically like takes the whole fantasy of being a cowboy and says that like being a cowboy kind of sucked.
It adds a realistic layer to it that a lot of people don't see when it comes like to Wild West stories
Yeah,
and
right.
stuff
Because
and
like
the
I mean, you still got
fantasization
the
behind them.
guns. Yeah, and you still got the gunslinging and everything like that. And it's like I said, there are a lot of great parts there. But like, it's like no, being a cowboy sucks. You're out there on your own. You're probably gonna like die of dysentery or something, right? Like,
Mhm.
being a cowboy is not fun, and going through this journey is not fun. And just like the first Red Dead, this Red Dead 2 is also about like a changing world. It's saying
Mhm.
that like the world that we lived in, the world that we grew up is changing whether we like it or not, and there's no place for us left. And
Yeah.
and like it's not fun, right? You're always just like one step behind, never catching up, never satisfied, right? It's a really greedy game, you know? And
Gritty.
that too, gritty and greedy.
Yeah.
Uh
Greed.
but
Yeah. Okay.
but yeah, so that's kind of like what I mean when I'm comparing it to Pun Pun. Is just like the art in Red Dead and say, haha, we're having fun. Isn't it cool to be a cowboy? It's like, no, being a cowboy kind of sucked and your life sucks and you're just doing the best you can. And it's not hopeful. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not hopeful. You start off hopeful, and then Dutch tells you just one more job for a sixth time, and you start to lose hope. There's no hope.
Arthur, we gotta get to Tahiti.
One more job.
it well, and it's so funny because like in game you'll have like 20, like you can have it where during the story mode you get up to like $20,000 with Arthur Morgan before you even get to the end and with
Yeah.
the prologue stuff with John Marston, and it's still like this is like a shitload of money for the time. Like you could buy an island with this amount of money. It's like we don't need we don't need to continue doing jobs, but it's because all in all, Dutch is addicted to that life and can't separate himself from it, so he's just making an excuse and he doesn't want these people to leave him behind, which is why he keeps stringing them along. Not to mention the fact Dutch is crazy, so that's also, I mean, everyone in that's crazy to do that line of, I was gonna say line of work, but it's not really a profession per se, but that lifestyle, you have to be crazy to do it.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, totally agree. Um, so yeah, Pun Pun. Read it if you want to be depressed. Um, play Red Dead Redemption 2. It's great. It's long. Uh,
it is very long.
Guarm
Most games
is.
are long
I
now.
don't care what anyone said. I saw someone make an argument for like Guarm. I don't care. It's too long.
You mean Gorma?
Whatever. It's the worst part of the game. So
It is, and no one wants it to be in the tropics.
it's just way too long. It's like four. It's like 3 or 4 hours.
No, it's longer.
Is it long? That's even worse.
I think it's like 6 or 7.
It's almost as bad as Chapter 13 in in Final Fantasy 15. The 13th chapter was so bad they put out an update to remove it.
Is that what I've heard stuff about? Like there's a specific Final Fantasy game where there's like a level where it's like ridiculous with how this is me trying to grab at straws of what I'm trying to think of because I don't like my brain just went away where I'm like I'm trying to grab something, it's not there. I'll just let you continue.
In Final Fantasy 15, the 13th level, they take away all of your powers and all of your like party members, and it's just you. You have like this ring, and you can basically like spit on people, and it's like a couple of hours of you running around like that. Now, mind you, there's only like 14 or 15 chapters in the entire game. This is like late game stuff that they do this. and they just completely take all your powers.
Mm.
Like, and you can't run, you can't do anything about it, and it's just a few hours of you running around this dungeon, like spitting on people, basically. It
Sounds like a
is
good time.
the worst part of that game. And to be fair, Final Fantasy 15 isn't even all that great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a mediocre game. I loved it, but it's a mediocre game. But that level was so bad. Like I said, they put out an update to remove the level. That's how bad it was. They just removed a part of the game, and people were happy about it. But yeah, so I haven't been reading anything. I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah,
Uh,
you've told me about that.
yeah, I love audiobooks. It's great. What have I been listening to? I'm gonna pull up my Audible. Mostly
Mm-hmm.
anime bullshit. Um,
Yeah. Any smut?
no. Well, eh. There's like sex in it, but not really. Like they don't
I
depict
feel
any
like
of it. Like
okay,
they just
I'm
basically
not
like very straightforwardly imply that it happened, or not even imply they say that it happened, but it's not like a sex scene or anything in it.
okay. Well, then that's not smut. Like full on smut, like describes it like in detail, where it's like the sweat dripped off his balls as I fucking gargled his fucking kids. I don't know.
Okay,
I
well
don't know what
that's
they say.
but
We're definitely not.
it's called Reborn as a Space Mercenary. I woke up piloting the strongest spaceship or something like that. I
Mm,
mean anime bullshit. I did listen to the second season. Well, I think both seasons came out last year. Of Moriarty. So basically, it's Sherlock Holmes, but like, what if Moriarty wasn't actually a bad guy and it's just like was basically framed for it all? Right. So it's from the perspective of Moriarty. Fantastic, Audible original, full cast. It's really cool. Recommend it. And Impact
that
Winter.
just sounds
What?
in my head. That sounds hilarious. Where this dude's just chilling in his house and fucking Sherlock Holmes bursts through his door, and like this starts like you know how in
Just
Sherlock
us
Holmes
yelling
like
at him.
he's quiet and he's like thinking and stuff like,
Yeah.
and it just does all these sequences. He just bursts his room, doesn't say anything, and just starts in that sequence, but no one else knows it's happening. So he's just sitting there quietly, just walking around, and Moriarty's like, "What the fuck is going on? Like, what is this dude's deal? Is he on crack? Please get out of my house." Then he just gets accused, and Moriarty's like, "You're the one that broke into my house, you asshole." But
No, yeah, 100%. It's actually kind of like that. So Moriarty is a scientist, right? And he's like a mathematician or whatever, working on this thing. And what ends up happening is he ends up getting framed for the murder of his fiance.
mm,
Um, he ends up getting accused for the murder of his fiance. So he basically like orchestrates a prison breakout, like a major one too. Because public enemy
um,
number one, and he's like trying to like clear his name and stuff.
you know what that kind of reminds me of? I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a series of plays. There's like videos of them on YouTube, and I think it might be on a streaming service like Peacock or
Mm-hmm.
Amazon Prime or something. But it's called the play that goes wrong. Um, and it's just all these different versions. Like they do Christmas Carol, they do Little Red Riding Hood, and a bunch of others. They did Hamilton, I think, and it's just so friggin' funny. Where like in Christmas Carol, it show like Tiny Tim like walking through um like a alleyway or something, and the narrator's be like, "Oh, Tiny Tim enjoying his day, trying to get through his struggles," and the dude just gets fucking hit by a brick, and like the entire members freak out because it's not supposed to happen, and he just dies.
Okay. Well, there you go. Recommendation for everyone. I also listened to Impact Winter. It reminds me of either a video game or something, but it's based off a comic book of the same name. But basically, an asteroid had hit, blotted out the sun, caused like kind of like an ice age or whatever, and then vampires show up.
Oh, jeez.
It's really cool. Second season came out this year. Uh, Recommended again on Audible. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing as far as like books and stuff. And we did talk about anime and uh games. Dude, the Game Awards happened. Sony's State of Play happened recently. It's a brand new year. Games are coming out.
I know. The state of play was actually pretty good.
It
Um,
was. We're get
I
Kojima got like 20,000 minutes.
yeah,
It
it's just
Ko-
gonna be called the. What is Kojima doing right now? That's what it's just gonna be called
like
from
everyone
now
else gets
on.
like a 1 minute trailer. Kojima's section was like 10 or 15 minutes. It's like Kojima's here. We
I
just gotta let him go.
I just can't wait for like the Game Awards and everything. It's just called the Kojima Show.
The
It's just
Kojima
him.
show.
Yeah, he's
Well,
just there.
and did you see like the pan out too after his section? Like they had this like drone shot. This like
Yeah.
it's like it's so obnoxious, but also it's Kojima. I'm okay with it. If it was anyone else,
Yeah, it's Kojima. I
it's
mean,
Kojima.
what were you gonna say?
I love it.
Yeah.
The like
Silent
guitar acts.
Silent Hill.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Silent Hill. I don't know. I'm excited and mad at the same time. Get a new Silent Hill game
Why?
because
Yeah.
it was supposed to be Kojima
Yeah.
for the new one, not the remake. And like Konami, like for the last forever, has just been making pachinko machines. So I don't know if they actually, remember how to make a video game.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, there was technically two Silent Hill games. There's one that was Silent Hill Message or
That's what I'm talking about. There's a
something.
new Silent Hill game coming out, and then they have the remake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It looks like PT.
that's what I'm
um,
saying.
Yeah.
Because Kojima was supposed to be making Silent Hills, like with an S,
Yeah.
and then they put him in a dungeon.
They locked them away.
Yeah, so like, that's what happened there. But
Is Kojima an SCP?
probably.
Probably.
I know
What
Yoko
else?
Taro
Dragon's
is.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. I've never played it.
I'm
I just
so
know
excited
people
for
are excited
Dragon's
about it.
Dogma was so good. I'm so excited for this game. I am so excited for this game. Speaking of new games coming out, I got my package for the collector's edition of the Persona 3 remake. It came in
Mhm.
today. I have the box here. I'll probably like post pictures or something of it online. I don't know. But yeah, I'm very excited about this. I haven't even opened it yet, so I'll open it after this. But yeah, Persona 3 Reload, super excited. If you don't want to pay money, it's on Game Pass, so people get Game Pass, play Persona 3. It's great, and then play Persona 4 and then play Persona 5. Thank me later. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of really good stuff coming out.
Surprisingly, the thing that actually got me excited the most was Judas.
Yeah,
The
because it
Bioshock
just
team.
it just looks like BioShock. It's weird because like they're like we're gonna do something different. It's like this is just BioShock.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll play Bioshock. Yeah.
yeah. Give us more BioShock.
What else? Dave the Diver got Godzilla, so that's a move.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was. Death Stranding's still doing whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what it is.
Death Stranding 2, it looks wild.
It looks crazy.
What's his face? Troy Baker and his like his guitar axe that shoots lightning. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I can't even tell you what that game is or what it's about or what's going on.
You don't remember
It
you didn't did you play the first one?
No, it wasn't my type of game.
Okay. That's fair.
Although I say it's not my type of game yet, I just said I don't know what it is. So
I think it might be your type of game.
it might be.
I think it might be.
Is it just because of the fact I was really excited about the Mailman game?
Yes.
Yeah.
But this one's good. Um
I'm still upset about that.
and then Kojima said Kojima said he's going to reinvent, everything again. So we'll see what happens there. He might actually do it. So yeah.
Yeah,
What else? What won Game of the Year? I don't even think Dice Awards haven't happened yet, so we still got what, like one or two more Game of the Year shows left, I
It
think.
was Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah, it was Baldur's Gate. Deservedly
Yeah,
so. I played Spider-Man. Spider-Man was
yeah.
great.
Spider-Man was good, but it's not like
It's not Game of the Year.
it's not industry like changing. Like,
I'm trying to think of games I played that I would. I mean, I played Baldur's Gate, but I didn't play enough of it to personally make it my Game of the Year.
I didn't like it that much.
I think you
But
should
that's just me.
play Divinity.
You know what I've always wanted to play?
What?
Dishonored.
I love Dishonored. It's
I've
been
never
free a
played it.
couple times, I think.
Probably
Um,
has.
Dishonored,
What
great
else?
immersive sim. Arcane makes good games when they're allowed to make the game that they want to make and not Redfall.
You
Um,
know what? I just got Control, and I want to play it.
the
I
SMP
haven't
game.
played it yet. Yep,
Yep, I have it.
yep. Yeah, I have like a list of games on my wish list on PlayStation I need to buy. I still haven't gotten the Star Wars game that came out last year
What,
that
the
no
new
one
one?
talked about. Yeah, no
People
one
talked
kind of.
about it for like a week. It's weird. Like everyone really liked it. And they still talk about it, but like it didn't like. I feel like it didn't have a long news tail. I don't know.
No, I mean, for me, my personal game of the year, and which I knew it wasn't going to win, was Dead Space, uh, the remake. Because although it's, I mean, I was going to say, I mean, what I was going to say is technically more in reference if it was a remaster. But yeah, remake where they changed the ending, and it's going to be leading to a sequel most likely. Still, Dead Space 2 is going to be essentially the same plot, but they changed some of the technical aspects and certain factors of the story. But
Yeah, I mean,
it was my
I think
first
it'd
time.
be pretty cool. And I mean, mine would probably be Spider-Man, not because I think it's just like a fantastic game, but it's one it was one of the few games I beat that year. But also,
Yeah,
it's just the type of
Craven.
game I wanted to play. Like,
I almost put it in my game of the year just because of Craven. He is literally my favorite character. Um, Besides Deathstroke.
Craven was really
And
good.
like, yeah, Craven was fan. They made Craven look really strong in that game.
Yeah,
Um, they did because that you have to think about that dude in like within like a night fought like he fought Peter, he fought Miles, and then he fought Venom, and then like a bunch of other people. It's like that dude has some stamina. And I remember like seeing like some gameplays where people like, oh, Venom dunked on Craven. I'm like, that dude's dealing with cancer and he had to fight both Spider-Man like
like
before
he's
this. I'm
doing
like, I
he's doing he's doing great. Go play Spider-Man if you haven't. It's great. I just think it's a good streamlined game. I know like a lot of people are all about, oh, I need this to be, $1 one out. If I'm paying $60 or $70 for a game, I need to play it for 70, 80, 100,000. Look, my first playthrough of Persona 5 was 175 hours. I loved it. I don't need every game I play to be 175 hours. I spent like 25, I think I spent 30 hours, maybe 40 in Spider-Man. A lot of that was me swinging around, but I am totally okay with a shorter game. 30 hours is fine. Like,
yeah,
I don't need everything to be a billion hours. And like, we're finally getting to the point where like live service games are dying and they're realizing that people are sick of live service games. And I'm
yeah,
so
Justice
happy
League.
about that. Yeah. I hear the story is
It's
fun, but it's really short.
um
It's like 10 hours. Although,
I
again, I
think
don't think that's too bad either. And it depends on the type of game.
do you care if I even talk about it? Like spoilers wise? Are you gonna be upset about it?
Not personally. Spoilers for uh Kill the Justice League, if anyone
Uh
even gives a shit.
okay. So they killed Batman in the most disrespectful way for like Arkham Batman.
Yeah.
Um they literally shit talk him and then Harley just shoots him in the face and he dies on a bench.
I kind of
Like a
love
homeless
that.
man.
That's kind of hilarious. I
It
heard
is
Batman was like
hilarious,
really
but
scary.
Arkham Batman like took out his entire rogues gallery like 3 times at night, like sometimes twice in the same night. Um, Arkham
Did they
Batman,
explain
besides
why
some,
he's alive? or any of that? I mean, we know he's alive, but like, did they bring it
Brainiac
up at all?
essentially Brainiac essentially captured his body. From what I understand, is using it like a puppet thing, where he's like controlling it. But like his Batman's conscious is still there,
Well, yeah,
somewhat.
but like,
Um,
and did they explain why what's his face is black now?
who are you talking about?
Deadshot.
I I didn't watch that many clips, in regards to that, so probably not.
Probably not.
I think it's just because of Will Smith. Um,
I
I
want to
don't.
say that I feel like I saw a clip where they talked about how he's not the same one from like the Arkham games. I
I
feel
mean, it
like
could.
that's a thing. Like
I
he's
mean,
just
that's
using the
always.
name.
I mean, that's always a possibility of like mostly. It's kind of like Batman has also been like Dick Grayson in certain
Yeah.
iterations and stuff
Yeah.
like that, where it's like someone, this guy could have known the actual Deathstroke and like admired him, and he's gone, so he took off the mantle or something like that.
Yeah. But um but yeah, no. I hear the story is pretty, pretty good. Like Rocksteady did a good job with that. Everything else about the game is boring. And I also saw people like the general feel of the gameplay, like the shooting and stuff like that. A lot of people hate the movement, some like it. But the general like the shooting stuff's like, no, they built a good game. Everything around it is so painfully boring. Like that's just what I hear
Yeah,
about it. I don't know. But
and in the way they kill Superman's a little odd because he just gets shot.
mm-hmm.
Which I mean, that's what Suicide Squad's gonna do. Because then, I mean, if we're gonna stay like, I was gonna say realistic, but nothing's realistic with superheroes and stuff. But I guess what we understand about the DC universe, there's no way in hell the Suicide Squad would beat the Justice League, even Brainiac controlled ones. It wouldn't work, not with just guns.
I mean, well, it's weird that it's a shooter, but also like
It is weird because it's
comic
not like
book's gonna comic book. Like
comic book's gonna comic book. Writer's gonna choose who wins at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter. Um, it was just a little odd when it comes to Superman that you just kind of shoot him and he just eventually dies because it's like I don't think bullets hurt him.
yeah.
Um, so don't know how you get around that unless they're kryptonite bullets. But I feel like Superman should be able to still avoid that since he's faster than bullets. But I
Well,
guess
I
it
mean, so
depends.
also like technically the Flash fight shouldn't happen, but
No, it shouldn't. Flash. In all accounts, everyone gets decimated.
I did hear that
It's
Flash
just-
was like oddly too fast in that boss fight. Like it doesn't do a good job of like telegraphing the way that like where he's going and like the fight isn't interesting. You're basically just waiting for him to stop for a second so you can pop off a few shots that you start to running around again. And it's just like really annoying. I don't know. That's just what I heard from IGN. Um
there's one major elephant in the room we haven't addressed yet.
yeah.
Um, I actually met you guys this year. Well, this past year.
Yeah, you like stayed in my house and stuff.
I did, and I plan on doing it again. Um, as long as you're fine with that, probably.
We'll figure that out. That's in the future.
Well, that's in the future. But yeah, I went down. We did a lot of fun stuff. I helped Mateo at his job. I did free labor. Um, I was gonna send a bill, but kind of is what it is.
So we had a good
Um,
time at Gen Con.
we did have a good time at Gen Con. We also ate good food. Um, we ended up going mini golfing. We had a White Castle experience.
We drank a lot.
That you drank a lot. I didn't. It's weird. And during that experience, you drank a lot and didn't become an alcoholic. I drank nothing and became an alcoholic after it's coming back.
I don't even know the last time I
Uh,
even drank anything. I don't drink
and
a lot.
by the way, I don't either. Actually, I'm just joking.
You hear that,
Fuck
lawyers?
you.
He's joking. Don't worry, insurance
It's all a
companies.
joke. He's joking. Don't worry. Look, I'm trying to stay clean for this prime minister position, this fucking Discord. since I quarter my name on the Prime Minister of Dads right now, so
Poppy.
don't really Poppy. Um, but yeah, mini golf. We did karaoke, which was fun as hell. Definitely want to do that again
Yeah.
at some point. Um,
You can't bowl for shit.
no, that was horrible. Oh my god, I got bullied. I told my family about that, and I got bullied for like a week about it. Um, like my grandmother gave me so much shit about that.
Yeah.
Uh, where she was like, "Do you need me to take you bowling so I can like teach you like hands on?" And I'm like, "No, I don't really want you to do that. That would be awful."
We should go play pool
Um,
next time. We can go to like Fountain Square, so go to like a
I can
dive bar and play pool.
I can play pool.
Okay.
That I actually can play.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Um, but I can play it.
Yeah. We'll play like
Um,
pool or something.
what else? We should go play blackjack somewhere.
I can't play cards to save my life.
You can't?
No, I mean I know how to play blackjack, but
Well,
like no, I can't.
blackjack you
I
don't
can't.
really have to.
No, I understand how like I know how 21 works, but no, just in general,
Yeah.
like I can't play cards to save my life. Also,
Huh.
I don't want to go to a casino. What's wrong
We
with
don't
you?
have to go to we don't have to go to a casino. I mean, technically, we could just play blackjack all together, all
Yeah,
four
that's
of
not
us.
fun.
So
No one wants to do that.
what? I don't know.
We're not
That's true.
90. You're like
Yeah,
we're like a bunch of like you're just like
we
yeah
have to
we're
get.
like a bunch of like 52-year-olds talking about.
Look, Mateo, you're one step from applying for AARP.
I get AARP emails.
I've been. You know what's funny? I do too. I don't know what that says about me.
But yeah, no. So yeah, we tons of great video games. There's video games coming out. We're actually going to like do stuff. Look, let's talk about before we close up here. Let's talk about like what we're actually going to do cuz I want to play games. I want to have like discussions on different topics. Look, it's getting wild out there. Okay, it's getting wild. We got like AI running around, right? It's like Skynet. Okay, we got like Pal World. Is Pal World stealing Pokemon designs? Yes, but also probably no. Like, what's
Probably no.
copyright anyway? You know. So like,
We have a civil war starting. We're not gonna get into that. But yeah,
no, we're gonna do lots of cool stuff. I want to have discussions. I want to bring on some like other guests and stuff that know more than us talking out of our ass.
yeah. We
But
should get Neil deGrasse Tyson.
we're gonna get Neil deGrasse Tyson. Hit us up. I'm not. I can't. I couldn't. I
You couldn't. You'd feel
no.
too dumb. Is that what it is?
He's. I'm gonna make sure he never comes on this podcast now because of but like he's kind of an asshole. He's not like a bad person, but you know how like we can all be like this. You know like the whole actually or like my favorite thing is to um remind everyone that like honeybees are an invasive species. But like he does it to like a to 11, you know?
Yeah.
I can't remember what the last thing I
mean,
saw him do, but he'll literally be like,
doesn't he kind of have the right to?
"No." Because he makes things not like he'll get on and make like a TikTok about how the time travel in Back to the Future is impossible because they don't know how time travel works. And if he was actually like time traveling, he would also need to move through space and not just time because the Earth is still rotating. Well, it's like no one cares.
Yeah, but I like those videos.
No, he's an asshole. Just
No,
let people
he's
enjoy
okay.
things.
What if we
He's
get
like, you're stupid for enjoying things because the physics is wrong. Because I don't care.
you look? How about we get someone that just recently is gonna be retiring from YouTube, Matt Pat? We'll get Matt Pat on the podcast.
He'll be gone before that.
You upload this.
I'm gonna try to upload this quickly. We'll see.
We'll see.
It's first day of February.
Yeah, maybe we can get like Sachi back on it or
Yeah.
something. Well, we could.
Yeah, we'll see about.
Isn't she busy though?
She's in California.
Oh yeah, yeah. Huh.
But yeah, no, lots of cool stuff in the pipeline. So stay tuned. It's gonna be a good year. Striker's gonna be a good year.
I'll be a good boy this year. I'll try.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah,
We'll see. We'll
any
see.
closing remarks?
Um, if you ever want to get someone to like you, Capri Suns are the way. That is the secret. You invite them over with Capri Suns, and it'll work. That's the secret. That's my dad knowledge to share today.
There you go.
Good
Uh,
job, champ.
Capri Suns. Go get her,
There you
champ.
go.
But yeah, no. That's all we got for you this time. We're gonna keep this like in order. Um, but again, I'm Mateo. You know me. That's Striker. You know him. We're under the table, and I guess we'll see you next time. Striker, say bye.
Oh, sorry. Choose.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Adios.